Welcome back to Ultra Review. Yep, this is the first time in a year and I get a chance to do an Ultra series. This is episode number 18. We're here discussing the third series in the Ultra franchise, Ultraseven, airing back in 1967. We'll mostly be discussing the first two episodes. The first episode starts out with people disappearing. And it's the work of an alien. Because of course it is. It's the Ultra series, of course, aliens. And the aliens are bizarre to say the least. And the reason why I'm doing this because they think they're because humans they think humans are insects and then beneath them. So then of course we're introduced to the Terran Defense Force and its section that deals with aliens, the Ultra Guard. Now, the members introduced here. The captain, who is 38 years old. They name all the members' ages except for one, the female member. So many remember him in the group. So your members are, for the Ultra Guard, you have its captain, Kiru Karamiya. As I mentioned, is 38 years old, and he's the captain of the Ultra Guard. There is Suga Fushi, who's described as the strongest member of the team. He is 29 years old, member of the group for 7 years. Kira, they mentioned, is also in the first episode. He's a member for 16 years. And year which they not name her age. And they say she's been there for 2 years, so she's probably about 24-ish. Yes. There's also Soga. He's been part of it for 3 years. I think they say he's like 27. Amagi. Say he's been for 2 years, so I think they say he's 24. Yes, so two of them, Soga and Furushi, are sent out because apparently that members of the Terran Defense Force are being taken. Yes, so they're sent out and they're stopped by this wanderer who identifies himself as Dan Maraboshi. And of course, there's a police behind them, and of course, they're going to get taken by the mysterious aliens. And Dan, basically, of course, the two members of Ultra Guard get injured. Of course, he drives them back to, well, of course, he sees what they are. Oh, by the way, Dan is Ultraseven. Yep, he's Ultraseven. I'll show basically what he looks like here. Yes, so this is Ultraseven. Yep, that's him. Now, is the same actor who played who played the previous one? No, not really. So his suit actor is mostly Koji Usha. So, when they show off Ultraseven's attacks in the episode, his abilities are he get good strength and he very good takeoff. There's a piece of his helmet he wears that he can take off throws like a boomerang, killing the monsters. So, he of course Dan is sort of a provisional member of the team, thanks to saving the team. And of course the aliens contact him, and oh boy. Yeah, I can tell obviously he's the 60s because of those alien special effects. Like, the suit looks good. I like the suit. They used the monster, but it's obvious the fact we can see some wire work here, but it's the 60s. It's like, surrender. You humans are insects. You're beneath us. Like, we refuse. And then they destroy a district, and then afterwards they say, Tokyo is next. Please surrender. Yeah, that's kind of basically what it is. So then they send out this jet to go, which apparently they formed this atomizer, and of course Dan realizes though, oh yeah, your science team could do that. It won't take very long. Your science team can take care of that. So he explains by his atomizer to spray in the atmosphere, and poof, there's the alien spacecraft. It's a red spacecraft. Of course, the ship they fly on, which is quite, I love this thing. It's like a long tube, and it's a 3-part thing that can split 3 pieces, which of course then crashes, and then both ships crash. Then Dan sends out a metal kaijin monster to battle these minor alien fighters, and then you see him transform. His transformation is jumping up, and a mysterious pair of goggles go over his face. And he becomes Ultraseven. Not identified as Ultraseven. They'll give that name to the very next episode. So then, of course, beats the monsters up. And then, of course, takes the spaceship out to space, where the thing explodes. Presumably never heard from these aliens ever again. And like, oh, what's that? And then they say, oh, look, it's Ultraseven. Yeah, they give him the next episode. I'm not sure why that it's like that. It's like maybe there's some time past between episodes. Who knows? But I thought the first episode was quite interesting to start for it. So then becomes very remember. And then the very next episode, where there is this astronaut comes out from this V3 space station, who's been there for like 6 months, and he's back on Earth for vacation. Yep. But meanwhile, though, at his house where he's got it made, implied the man might be rich. Possibly, but they don't really go into it at all. He just probably because of him being maybe gets a scientist, he gets funding from the Japanese government. So he comes home. Before his wife leaves to go pick him up, there's a strange, weird rock in their driveway. Off the side, not blocking anything, and she kicks it once, and then tells him, hey, can you please call the police and have someone move that? It's like, sure. She did call them, but they found it difficult to move. Dan sees and is like, oh, I know what this is. He doesn't say to them, but it says they identify as unknown metal, which of course apparently he brought back to the headquarters, which also, like, to bring somebody who survived from... And then this weird stuff happens where there was this package that arrived earlier where the guy gets dropped off, and of course, oh yeah, go see home to your lovely wife. Which is a quite good comment because no denying the actress and player probably was a lovely woman at the time, so the line basically works. So then he goes to his office where he proceeds to do some paperwork for the commander, so he goes on vacation, and then he gets the package from earlier, and it turns out it's a smaller version of the rock he was given. And what does he do with it? He just puts it inside of his desk cupboard, and then he collapses, transforming into a plant monster, where he starts attacking people. What the heck is this? I like the special effect for this thing. It's actually really good here, but the whole idea of turning into a plant monster, that's weird. So then people turn into plant monsters. At one point you have one guy look like he's saved, and then turns out he actually becomes a plant monster. He gets knocked unconscious. Yeah, and of course, basically, he's not exactly suspected to be the plant monster. At one point, his wife goes see him, and his office is locked. And eventually, he was able to finally reconstitute himself. He unlocked it, and she asks, like, why was the door locked? He's like, oh, that was a habit from my time in the space station. Okay. Yeah, I think she would buy that compliment. And the real reason why he locked it so he could do the stuff he was doing. Some pretty good stuff here with this one. And then, of course, Dan finally figures out what's going on. So then he goes to his house where he's not there because apparently him and his wife, after being attacked by one of the plant monsters, proceed to leave town on a train. Which, not a bad idea. All these monster attacks, just leave town. And Then he goes to study where he basically where Dan discovers the rock earlier, and then he breaks it, and then the big thing basically that was in along the whole time. Apparently, they had the real astronaut in it all along. How the heck it got there, never explained. And then the guy in the plant monster that we thought was him becomes a plant monster where he escapes, where he attacks everybody, trying to stop. Everybody gets off. Dan's able to save the guy's wife, and then of course the guy goes giant size. Then we have Ultraman just does it with his eyes, pulls out the goggles, puts it on his face, and bam, becomes Ultra 7. And this is where he identifies as Ultra 7. So I think last episode no one knew who the heck he is. So he battles it and he defeats it by using the boomerang thing on his head to slice in half. And of course she sees her husband, which actually is, she thinks is basically the monster again. It's like, oh no, this is your real husband. And you just go on vacation. Your vacation you're booked for. Like, sure. And that's the episode. I'm like, okay. In the case of the first one, I kind of see the invasion thing, which is obvious. It seems like this one was also an invasion too, but with plants. I thought this was weird. As for what caused all this, it just gets wrapped up very quickly in the Here I Am. And that's it. But I do enjoy these episodes so far, and can't wait to discover the rest. Watch the rest, okay? So that's pretty much a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and tune in this like button. Next up, we have a comic corner, and this is a quite interesting one to say the least. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Okay? This is the next video. Bye.